It was just about the most perfect performance you could see from an away team, away at Stoke on a cold November Saturday. My God, Blackburn did well, didn't they, Harry? How are you?
Yeah, very good, and it's exactly right. We did it on a cold night in Stoke. Um, yeah, as far as performances go, you can't really complain. And that's you don't often watch Rovers, and I've been watching Rovers for 20 years, and you don't often watch Rovers and not think that you have a good chance of losing the game at almost any moment. But it seemed pretty much in control throughout the whole 90 minutes, and that's no disrespect to Stoke. They're a difficult side to beat, but we were really defensively, I think, really solid, and really limited them having any chances at all.
I can't weigh up Blackburn because I watched the game against Preston, and obviously went on to lose that in the last minute. And at home, games against Swansea have gone, and I can't weigh up the team. But away from home, Blackburn plays some really good stuff. They all work for each other, probably harder than they work at Ewood Park, which is bizarre. Can you put your finger on what the difference is away from Ewood Park? I mean, I read one report that said the week if the fans were as loud away from home as they were at home, then perhaps you might win a bit more at home. Is that an impact? Explain it to us, because it's just a complete mystery this season.
Well, I've been trying to weigh up Rovers for the best part of 20 years, and I've still not got any closer than you have. But it's so un-Rovers like. Normally, Ewood Park's a bit of a fortress for us, and away from home we're a little bit weaker. But this season we seem to have really taken on the road strongly, and I think that's a lot to do with Thomason. Thomason's brought a sort of good feeling back to the club, and a lot of people want to make these trips to away games. We got 2,000 at Stoke, which for a Sunderland or a Sheffield Wednesday fan wouldn't be too much, but for Rovers that's a big deal. Home numbers are still struggling, and I think I've always thought that the home form would struggle because of the lack of numbers we bring to a home game. And I think we might be starting to see the start of that. But as long as we're getting points on the table, I don't really care where they come from, home or away.
And one thing I noticed as well, just again, is your players work tirelessly off the ball as well. It isn't just the threading of the passes through. When the opposition have got the ball, this teamwork so hard for each other, don't they? Is that just down to good coaching?
Absolutely, yeah. That's John Dale Thomason. That's what he wants the team to do. If we haven't got the ball, you've got to work harder to get them back than you do when you've got the ball. He really promotes this high press in the forward line, a sort of fluid front four they call it, where anyone could end up anywhere on the pitch, and whoever's doing that job to press that defender, they do it to they run from the manager, like I've never seen them run for anyone else really, and they all work for each other. You'll see in the celebrations for some of the goals how much of a tight knit that team are, and I think that's all down to Thomason as well.
Mm-hmm. Just a couple of words on a couple of players. First of all, talk to us about the quality of James Hill.
Oh, he's sensational. He's unreal. I did no expectation for him at all coming in from Bournemouth. I think he'd been on loan in Scotland, didn't really impress to any of my knowledge. But and what we're maybe strongest for is our defensive partnership. Anyone who knows Rovers know how strong Dominic Hyam and Hayden Carter have been. And with Hyam out injured, for Hill to come back in and almost feel like Hyam's not even gone missing, not as just a defender, but as a leader as well. Really impressed, more than I could mention. I think he's destined to play in the Premier League regularly.
And finally, you've got this little nice relationship with Brighton, haven't you, going on in terms of, them sending you nice players. And I suppose they haven't come any better, I suppose, this season than Andrew Moran, who helped certainly on Saturday. Just a word on his qualities.
Yeah, well, if Brighton want to send us any more players, we'd be more than happy with that. Yeah, he's really quality. He's got something that not many of our players have got. The drive to take someone on, a little bit of agility, dances between players. I remember when he first came, I was there at Watford when he first made his debut. Didn't know much about him, but straight away he was high energy, running at players. And he got his goal at the weekend, which perhaps a little bit lucky with the goalkeeping, but he definitely deserved a goal.
Okay. Cool. Right, we'll get the Wednesday fan, our Wednesday fan back in, and you can both preview the game this weekend. Let's pause there. Thank you, Harry. Okay, Blackburn travelling to Hillsborough then this weekend. Let's get some score predictions. First of all, Harry meet Andrew. Andrew meet Harry.
Hello.
Nice to meet you, Andrew. I was saying I don't particularly remember the 4-2 win in 1882.
83-84. That's right, 83-84. I was there, big one. Yeah.
A little bit before my time.
Yeah, that season we didn't lose in our first 19 matches that season. Different story to how things are going this season.
Different story this season, there, Andrew. All right, let's get some predictions then. Andrew, Blackburn are a dangerous side. What do you reckon?
Well, we're going to be the spoilers, and we're going to end this unbeaten away little run they're having, or whatever they're doing away from home. And depending on what happens on Wednesday, if we get thrashed by Leicester, then please mute this scoreline. Otherwise, if we don't get thrashed, then I'm very confident that we're going to actually get a win there. We can't just rest on one win all season. We'll beat Blackburn 2-1 to Wednesday.
All right, back at you then, Harry. What do you reckon? Bottom of the league, you going well?
Yeah, well, everything would say on paper that would be a Rovers win, but as the saying goes, the game's not played on paper. I heard Andrew describe Blackburn as consistent earlier, which is the last word maybe I'd use to describe Rovers. And these are the kind of games that Rovers end up losing in the past, playing against the team that are quite low on confidence. You've come off a win and you're going away to Sheffield Wednesday. You'd expect nothing but 3 points, and then you end up losing 1-0. It's happened numerous times. But I am saying that I am going to contradict myself. I am confident that Rovers will get the points. I think we've been playing well. I think maybe a few results that we hadn't gone our way in the last few weeks had been a bit undeserved, and we've got the results of the weekend that our performances have really warranted. So I'd say 2-0 Rovers. I'll go 2-0.
Brilliant. All right. Not completely a smash and grab then. Right. Listen, fellas, thanks so much. We'll see you next week and review whether you're right or whether you're wrong. Enjoy the game.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Bye now.